Prakash Javadekar is addressing the CIA Partnerships for Lives, Livelihood and Growth Summit.
Of unnatural rains, untimely rains, hurricanes, typhoons. So all these things are happening. So we are suffering. So we have also taken lead in adaptation. But as far as our NDC implementation is concerned, this is my second point. We are doing much, much more than what we were expected to. We took on ourselves a target of reduction of 35% of emission intensity by 2030. But within last 5 years, we have brought it down by 21%. A huge impact over 2005 targets, not 1990 targets. 2005 emissions level, and India has reduced by 21% before the onset of Paris Agreement. So we are doing our bit. We have also, Prime Minister announced 175 gigawatt of renewable energy and 40% energy mix or by renewables in energy mix capacities. And we are both achieving both the targets. And yesterday only our Prime Minister laid foundation stone for a world's largest solar and wind hybrid energy park, which will produce 30 gigawatts at one place with 72,000 hectares, more than Singapore itself. We are putting up our solar plant in Kutch sand dunes. So that's a huge thing, and we have already, Prime Minister has upgraded our target, our goal to 450 gigawatts of renewable energy by 2030. So the third was increasing the green cover. We have increased in last 6 years 15,000 square kilometers of tree cover inside and outside the forest area. Despite our constraints, that's my third point, we are just 2.5% of the world's land mass. We receive only 4% of natural water resources. We have 18% of world human population as well as 18% of world's cattle population. Both require land, water and feed. And we are still 8% of world's biodiversity. This is because of our cultural ethos. We worship trees, we worship animals, we worship birds. So all this is done. So we have overperformed in our goals. And 4 reports, eminent reports of the world testify this. First is the Climate Transparency Report. It has said India is the only country in G20 countries to meet the commitments. That's a certificate for India. United Nations Environment Program, UNEP emission gap report says that our emissions are per capita 60% lower than the world average. 60% lower than the world average. That is our point, certificate. Third is Climate Action Tracker. It says very few countries which are 2-degree compliant in their actions. One is India. And the fourth report is Climate Change Performance Index. India is one of the top performer on the commitments and actions. So this all shows that India is walking the talk. Now I want to raise fourth and very important point. Still countries of the world, without actually doing their own bit, are asking other countries to revise upward, ratcheting up upward their ambitions. I see this as a flaw. I ask, why you want to ratchet up now, before Paris? Because everybody has given indices. Even you comply for indices, it will be a good scenario. And in 23, when the global stock take will happen, one can think of raising ambition. India has already raised ambition in a way. When we in Paris we mentioned 175, now we have mentioned 450 gigawatts of renewable energy. So a huge ambition raised, but still I have an objection for this approach. My objections, I asked everybody that why you want to raise ambitions now before starting the Paris Agreement. They said because that gives a very good signal for the industry to innovate and to bring out new technologies. I said that Madame Curie innovated very life-saving drugs. What was the market signal that time? Graham Bell started with telephone, innovated telephone. Where was the market signal that time? When he took his telephone instrument to showcase to American president, he said, this is a good instrument, but who will pay for talking? Who will pay for talking was a natural question, but world is paying for talking. There was no market signal. Then, when James Watt came out with electrical bulbs, where was the market signal? But he innovated. Even in our times, when internet was innovated and developed, what was the market signal? So this argument of market signal, you must raise your ambitions to give correct market signal, is a wrong argument, is not the valid argument. And therefore, because I believe in human intelligence and intent, all these innovations have taken place because of intelligence and intent. And this is continued even today. So we should not profit from disaster if we are thinking that climate change is a disaster. Technology will find out the answer, but we should not charge technology excessively. So my last sentence is that there has to be collaboration in research and innovation. So there will be joint IPRs, and we must provide all new technologies at cost to mitigate climate change and not profit from it. Thank you. All the best.
Thank you, Director Ji, for a very clear and pointed talk with very clear points. I truly appreciate one point. It's up to us to sort out our climate change. It's our own behavior change, I think, as you said, which is most important to take care of the environment. Thank you, sir. May I now request Honorable Alok Sharma to give his special address.
Thank you very much for that, and good afternoon, everyone. Namaste. Firstly, a big thank you to His Excellency Mr. Goyal and Mr. Kotak for inviting me to speak today. It is an honor to join you at the Confederation of Indian Industry as it celebrates its 125th year. And it has been a real pleasure interacting over the past months with the Indian government and industrialists on the vitally important issue of climate change. whether that was co-chairing India's coalition for disaster relief infrastructure in March, or indeed speaking alongside Honourable Prime Minister Modi at the Reinvest last month. And of course, many meetings and council events and the like with Mr. Javadekar and of course Mr. Singh as well along the way. And I would say that our partnership between our two countries, between the United Kingdom and India, has never been stronger. And I'm very much looking forward to coming to India early on in 2021. But of course, as we've already heard, we are coming to the end of a difficult year, a challenging year, one that has caused immense human suffering around the world, and of course, immense challenges also for businesses, and it has led to damage to our economies and economic growth. But I think we all agree that in all this disruption, what we cannot allow is action on climate change to become another victim of the pandemic.